A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
Well, a child's happiness is priceless, right? Especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday. A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on their birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially when it comes to their birthday.
Absolutely.
A child's happiness is... A child's happiness is...
Well, a child's happiness is...
A child's smile is priceless.
A child's happiness is...
You know, a child's happiness is...
A child's happiness is...
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless.
So without a doubt, you can see that they are all, even different networks, are all on board with the same pushing of an agenda. There's your proof. There's no question about it. They are the enemy, and they are not there to inform you. I know you're saying to yourself, hey, what's this got to do with the JFK event? Hold tight, just bear with me. You'll see, it all makes sense.
The Easter Bunny stuff this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny stuff this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny stuff this year.
Economic factors may... Economic factors may take...
Economic factors may take some...
Economic factors may take...
Mike Myers says, yeah, baby.
Mike Myers says, yeah, baby.
Mike Myers says, yeah, baby.
Mike Myers says, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Says, yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Baby. Mike Myers said.
Yeah, Ken.
Mr. President, earlier this year you told us you had ordered your administration to cease and desist on payments to journalists to promote your agenda. You cited the need for ethical concerns and the need for a bright line between the press and the government. Your administration continues to make the use of video news releases, which are prepackaged news stories sent to television stations, fully aware that some or many of these stations will air them without any disclaimer that they are produced by the government. Comptroller General of the United States this week said that raises ethical questions. Does it raise ethical questions about the use of government money to produce stories about the government that wind up being aired with no disclosure that they were produced by the government?
There is a Justice Department opinion that says these pieces are within the law so long as they're based upon facts, not advocacy. And I expect our agencies to adhere to that ruling, to that Justice Department opinion. It's been a long-standing practice of the federal government to use these types of videos. The Agricultural Department, as I understand, has been using these videos for a long period of time. The Defense Department, other departments have been doing so. It's important that they be based on the guidelines set out by the Justice Department. Now, I think it'd be helpful if local stations then disclose to their viewers if that's, that this was based upon a factual report and they chose to use it. But evidently in some cases that's not the case. So anyway.
To guarantee that's happening by including that language in the prepackaged report.
Yeah, I don't, look. Oh, you mean a disclosure on George W. Bush and I?
Well, some way to make sure it couldn't air without the disclosure that you believe is so vital.
Ken, I mean, there's a procedure that we're going to follow, and the local stations ought to, if there's a deep concern about that, ought to tell their viewers what they're watching.